Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon.
Good evening to my gentle viewing audience. It's your man Shane Black coming back, and I'm not on the attack. Not on the attack. I'm going to begin this video by saying thank you for your service. And that's to law enforcement officers everywhere. But tonight, to those law enforcement officers in Dayton, Ohio, especially. It's not to discount what the officers in El Paso did. And actually, no, El Paso, kudos to your officers as well. It's just from what you saw in that video, those Dayton police officers, less than 7 seconds, because you saw the patrons, they heard the shots, ran inside, and less than 7 seconds later, you see some officer in shorts running down the street. And then shortly, 3 uniformed officers running down the street. Not high, not looking for something to block any bullets. Looking for cover to keep themselves safe. No, there are innocent civilians being shot. Let's see who we need to shoot. See who the fuck needs to be put down. Now, I'm not mentioning his name. And I notice that more and more, at least on the radio shows and news that I read, the name may be mentioned one time, but then never again. That's the way to do it. But I showed you that first clip. That Black Lives Matter march. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. I think one of the organizers tried to play that off as a joke. That shit wasn't funny. And I'm damn sure no, they didn't think it was a joke when they were saying it. Fuck you. When you need the police, like those people in Dayton did, you'll wish you weren't chanting that shit. Maybe they'll leave you to fend for your fucking self, and I think they should. However, I don't want to get too far afield from the topic. And that's these mass shootings. One on Saturday, one on Sunday, and I knew as sure as the sun was going to rise in the east and set in the west, that come Monday, the Democrats were going to jump on this shit like flies on shit, calling for stricter gun control laws. And I knew the president would stand up and speak truth. Speak truth as it relates to what the true problem is. Now in El Paso, that individual wanted to kill as many Mexicans as he could. He drove like over 10 hours to get to that one Walmart. And that was just due to the fact that it's right across the border. I guess it's a border town with Mexico. Mexicans be coming here because of shit. And I guess Walmart prices are so low, it's lower than the shit you can get in Mexico. Except he only killed 3 Mexicans and there are 22 people dead. And then he's still alive. But of course they'll just kill him. They won't torture him and kill him. Which I believe is what should happen. Make you pay for the pain that you caused all those people. He had a manifesto, which I won't even address. The fact that he wrote that shit means he wants people to read it. And I heard people reading bits and parts of that shit on the news all fucking day. Just suffice it to say, he didn't like immigrants and the invasion coming across the border and shit like that. And it's true. However, it's not so much Mexicans. See how fucking stupid people are? People from Central America, that's where the invading horde is coming from. And shit has improved in Mexico, so they're not trying to run over here like they used to. But you want to kill you some Mexicans. And the Democrats want to talk how, well, it's the Trump rhetoric, and he said they were animals, and the invasion. No. The invasion is from Central America. That's where the motherfucking caravans began. And he was talking about MS-13 and describing Mexicans, well, excuse me, I almost fell into that trap myself, and describing these illegal immigrants as animals, because the illegal immigrant MS-13 members are worse than animals. Calling them animals is actually a compliment. Then you have the Dayton shooter, the one who killed his sister, who rode up there with him. And then he's dead too, and that's kind of fucked up for his mom, because she both had all kinds of pictures of her children. And if you find her name, and you can look it up yourself, because I ain't gonna say it. The loves of her life, now both of them are dead. I'd be surprised if she ain't dead in a minute. Not from suicide, but because her heart broke. And I won't go as far back as Gilroy, California. I believe there were 3 killed there. But what I do want to talk about is the fact that the bodies are probably still warm. They're dead, but the bodies are still warm, and that Democrats are jumping over this shit like flies on shit. Calling for stricter gun laws. Gun laws are already in place. But let me tell you something. Or do I want to ask you something? Can I hydrate real quick? That's what I'll ask you. Yes? Okay then. Hold on. Now, if memory serves me correctly, the Dayton shooter. The fact, well, let's see. Now, let's go back to Gilroy. Yeah, let's talk about Gilroy. That came first. The reason I want to go back there is because there are gun laws. The gun laws were in place that would have stopped him from bringing that particular weapon into the state of California. That's why he went to Nevada to make the purchase. Then when he came back to California, he didn't declare, because they would have taken that shit from him. So the law is there, and it wasn't enforced, and I'm fairly sure it wasn't enforced because they didn't ask the question. Did you purchase any firearms? Do you have any firearms in the car? I've been to Reno and back, Vegas and back, and each time I come back to California, I don't live in California, but I was at the time, they asked me as it relates to fruit, do you have some fruits in the car or something like that? And I'm like, well, you know, I was about to say, yeah, sexual orientation and shit like that, but now I said, I don't have any fruits in the car. But they never asked me about a weapon. Although I can guarantee you he would have lied and said, oh, what? No, I don't have a weapon. He brought it in the state. So the law is there. It's that you need to do something as it relates to the enforcement of existing laws. Now let's go to El Paso, Texas. Now, this gentleman legally purchased a firearm. There's nothing illegal about that particular purchase, but you might want to put some restrictions on the existing gun laws. He was on 4chan, 8chan, Channel 11, I don't know, C-SPAN, posting racist rhetoric. And he may have indicated that he wanted to kill somebody. Honestly, I really don't remember. Probably because I hadn't refreshed my electrolytes while I was listening to the story. But there were red flags. There were red flags all along. But as he was posting to an anonymous site, that would have been very difficult to identify this individual. Lastly, in the Dayton shooting, that individual actually was suspended from high school, as he had a list of people that he wanted to kill, people he wanted to like rape, people he wanted to torture, probably like animals he wanted to fuck. I don't know. Just motherfucker had some list of lists. Had a hell of a fucking list. And then showed that shit to people I guess he thought were his friends. And they may have been his friend before they looked at the list. They're like, I'm not gonna bitch his name, but they're probably like, okay, well, hey, Billy, you know, I want to show you this list. Oh, sure, what's a list of? Oh, this is a list of people I want to kill and rape and sexually assault. Oh, well, you know, okay. Hold on, what the fuck? Bitch, you got my name down here under sexual assault. The fuck do you want to sexually? And then wink, wink. Yeah, I sure do. And so he told because he didn't want to be sexually assaulted. That's probably what the fuck happened. I don't know. But once again, red flag. He was suspended. I think he had to write an apology letter to everybody on the fucking list. But they did not pursue the matter further. Fuck an apology. He needs to be prohibited from even purchasing a firearm. But due to the fact that I think, how would I call it? It's not social justice. Restorative justice. That's it. Because they want to restore your good reputation. Oh, you made a mistake while you were a child. You're still a child. You're 16, 17 and 364 days. We don't want to put a mark on your record that will follow you for life. No matter where you go, it follows you. So we'll let you write these apology letters. We'll suspend you for a minute, and then everything's going to be all right. You can go to junior college. It's going to be all right. You can buy a gun. It's going to be all right. Except for the people that he killed. That's why our president, Donald J. Trump, said mental illness is one of the problems that needs to be dealt with when trying to resolve the issue of gun violence. Parkland shooting, going way back on your ass. Once again, another situation with restorative justice. He demonstrated, he showed symptoms of someone who has mental problems, someone who's fucked up in the brain and got guns. Certain states have those red flag laws, and if you're discovered to have a mental illness, you should lose, and a mental illness that's incurable, you should lose your Second Amendment rights, period. That'll stop a lot of this shit. Now, I know racism is not a mental illness, so that would not have been a factor in the El Paso shooting. However, once again, there were other red flags. It just would have come down to identifying the person. We start to wrap this up, because I don't want to take too long. But I will start by saying the answer to the problem is not taking guns out of the hands of sane, law-abiding citizens. If you take the guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens, then the next tragedy will be even worse. Listen to stories about people, oh shit, can't remember what it's called. I used to listen to a guy on the radio, and he had a segment where he talked about people with guns. So one thing, there was an 80-something-year-old woman, and now it's by herself. Somebody trying to break in the house, and she had her gun, and she shot at him, told him, "Bring your motherfucking ass downstairs, and you're dead." There's a recent story in Seattle. I don't know how old that woman was. She had signs on her door: "Fuck the dog, beware of me, bitch." And somebody still climbed over the fucking fence, was trying to get in her house. She got up on the roof, did an Annie Oakley on his ass. I don't know if he lived or died. The story said like he was in critical condition. He probably should have died. Therefore, motherfuckers in that area won't have to pay for his care, his trial, and his incarceration. The only motherfuckers with guns who are willing to rob or kill you, they're already breaking the law once they rob or kill you. So they don't give a fuck about a law that says they're not supposed to have a gun. If you make a law saying that people should not have guns, then the only people who won't have guns are the people who will need them, and that's law-abiding citizens. I want you to check out some stories as it relates to what the mass shooters have to say as it relates to why they chose their targets. Hell, Mr. El Paso said he didn't want a hot target, like an armed police officer, security guard. Armed security guard was a lesser. He's looking for women and children. And Walmart, well, the Walmart where I stay, you can carry your shit. I was shocked, motherfucker carrying this shit on their waist. It wasn't even a police officer. They're looking for gun-free zones. Gun-free zone means shooting gallery. So, the resolution is not taking the guns from law-abiding people. Most people who do this shit, there's some red flags somewhere. Now, to wrap it up as it relates to politics, and I will make this shit brief. Let me start off by saying I hope Cory Booker wins a Democratic nomination so that I can have the privilege of not voting for your stupid black ass. Now, from what I read, he did not direct profanity towards President Trump. But the shit he said was so fucking stupid that I'm flabbergasted. Let me go ahead, and I'm accessing the teleprompter here. Now, oh, this is Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe. Shut the fuck up. Here we go. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey called the president weak and criticized his continuing suggestions that mental illness is to blame in mass shootings, including those in which people of color or various religions were targeted. He went on to say white supremacy is not a mental illness, and I will agree. White supremacy and racism, neither of those are a mental illness. Just watch Law and Order. Jack McCoy established the fact that racism is not a mental disorder. However, his tweet continued on and said, guns are a tool that white supremacists use to fulfill their hate. Wow, Cory Booker must have a mental disease himself. Go watch this movie, Memento. Guy Ritchie, I think, was in it. Excellent movie. The guy had, his short-term memory was fucked up. So he could remember shit that happened a long time ago, but his short-term memory was fucked up, and I guess so is Cory Booker's. Now, the next time you talk to Cory Booker, ask him about Emmanuel Sampson down there in Nashville, Tennessee. You see, Cory Booker's talk about white supremacists use guns to fulfill their hate. Emmanuel Sampson is black. Black as fuck. Black as night. Black as outer space. He went to church in Nashville, Tennessee, intending to kill 10 white people with his black ass. He killed one and wounded 7 before one of them ushers got him, and then they beat the shit out of him for a minute. But he's black, and he used a gun. And just because there was only 1 fatality and 7 wounded does not make that a non-mass shooting. If you shoot more than 2 people, then that's a mass shoot as far as I'm concerned. Look, let's let the bodies get cold. Let us mourn for those who passed. Let us praise those who served as heroes, whether it's law enforcement or just individuals acting heroically to save lives during those mass shootings. And then let's talk truth without politics. Racism is not a mental disorder. President Donald J. Trump didn't create any sort of racist atmosphere. Look at hate crimes. Well, I guess you can only really look it up based on hate crimes because they actually started to go up during the Obama administration. Then it just continued to go up. And the fact that the Democrats keep bringing up race. One last example. Fuck it. I'm probably at 20 minutes. After President Trump's comments as it relates to Baltimore, and then they rushed up and said those are racist comments. No. A statement of fact in and of itself is not racist. Baltimore has a bunch of rats. That's not racist. Baltimore is a fucked up place to be. That's not racist. I was about to say Elijah Muhammad. I don't know what the fuck homeboy's name is because I don't live in Baltimore, and he's a fucking idiot. So therefore, knowledge of his existence is something I'm actually actively trying to forget. But everything he says, the Democrats and the media try to say that they do say it's racist and try to convince you to believe that it is when it isn't. Stop trying to make everything racist, and then you'll likely stop having pissed off white people. Because, oh, well, fuck that. It ain't racist, it's telling the truth, and I'm mad because you're restricting my rights because I'm just for the sole fact that I'm white. You're saying white privilege, and that I should be upset and mad because I'm a white male, and seeing all the things that my ancestors 500 years ago did, I'm just ashamed of the skin I'm born in. And then you're gonna have black people mad because, well, fuck that shit. Look what they're doing to me. That's racism. You said that shit. You said water is wet, and I'm in the water, so you're calling me wet. Fuck you. I'ma kill you because that was some racist bullshit. And then you have people like Elizabeth Warren saying that she's a fucking Indian, and then taking advantage of the system, the affirmative action system, gain wealth and prominence and power. And then when called on her bullshit, says, oh, well, you know, I was blushing and my grandmama looked at me and said, oh shit, you look like a little Indian. And so therefore I figured I was Indian. But now that I went to 23andMe and found out I ain't Indian with this shit, now you got Indians mad. Ready to go on the war path because you keep talking about race, using that, trying to use that shit for your advantage the same way Elizabeth Warren did. And one last thing. If you want to help heal this country, quit all that fucking cussing, bitch. Now I'm not talking about me or people like me. You don't know who the fuck I am. And if I went on my job cussing, I'd be fired. Shit. Well, actually, the union probably protect me and say, okay, well, you got a warning. Then don't do it. And then you get another warning. After about the 25th warning, I'll probably be fired. But when you have Cory Booker, that stupid motherfucker I told you about before, talk about the president's bullshit, ineffectual words. What's that bitch's name? Rashida Tlaib. Talking about, let's get that motherfucker out of office. And some representative or senator from Ohio. Because the president misspoke when he said Toledo when it was Dayton. And that senator or representative said Toledo, FCK me. So when you have individuals who are supposed to be professional, individuals who are supposed to be the epitome of civilized America, using expletives and profane language to express themselves. I know you want to act like you're one of the people. That's not the way to do it. You are supposed to act better than the people. You are supposed to serve as an example to the people. What the fuck do you think Donald Trump got elected? If I wasn't in the hospital, I'd have voted for him, but I will vote for him in 2020. We are tired of you politicians and your bullshit. We wanted someone else who was one of the people. Doesn't matter how wealthy he is, but he wasn't one of you. And that's how he got into office. He wasn't one of you. So quit trying to pretend to be one of us. Dragging the nation down with all your cussing and bullshit, knowing damn well if you was on the street, you'd shut your fucking mouth, or we'd shut it for you. That's it. That's all, general viewers. Shit.